Hello, good Monday morning to you. It is the start of a new work week. We had a very fun weekend. Hopefully, you got the opportunity to get outside, enjoy some of that sunshine. Unfortunately, we've had some snow loss because of how wonderful it was this past weekend and because of the sunshine we had out there, how unseasonably warm it was as well. So, that's been a little problematic in some instances. We definitely do have some slick spots, some icy surfaces, and some of the trail conditions might not be the best out there. You might need your cleats if you are planning to maybe do some trails today, walk around, do a little hiking or something like that. So yeah, and we're going to continue to lose a little bit of snow. Hopefully you got a great opportunity to get outside this past weekend though and enjoy some of that sunshine. Maybe you watched the EP200, and if you did, let us know how great your weekend was below. Tell us, what did you do to enjoy the nice weather? And what are you looking forward to this week? All right. So for over the next about 5 minutes or so, we're going to talk about Wednesday. Wednesday is a big day of concern for us. Okay, we do have a system that's going to come in. It'll be a little bit impactful, especially after the warm up that we've had. So highlighting especially Wednesday, and then we'll briefly touch on what's out there right now. Okay, so here's what you need to know. It is a area of low pressure that is coming in tomorrow night into Wednesday. It is going to skirt right along the Wisconsin state line, or mainly the southern counties of the UP, across the southern UP, the main low. But it is going to bring in widespread precipitation, and it starts off as freezing rain along the Wisconsin state line tomorrow night, and then it becomes widespread wet, kind of sloppy snowfall by Wednesday morning. So that means we will have hazardous travel Wednesday morning. Looking at some icy areas, potentially sloppy snow-covered roads without accumulating snowfall we're expecting. There are still some model inconsistencies out there, so the track of the system could shift, and that could mean some changes to amounts for snowfall and precipitation as well. So, yeah, that's the main highlight for that. The winter storm severity index from the Weather Prediction Center is showing, some for sure disruptions for Wednesday from this for the majority of the UP. And again, that's for travel conditions. Let's talk about ice probability with this. It's mainly less than 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation expected. The probability, though, ranging about 5% to about a 30% probability of that potentially occurring, up to about 1/10 of an inch of ice accumulation. Mainly across the southern counties of the UP. That's where we have the greatest risk of that freezing rain. Otherwise, we all know, though, a little like glaze is still problematic nonetheless. Still need to be on alert. Snowfall. So let's talk about the probability of heavy snowfall. First off, there's a easily good probability of 2 inches of snow, almost widespread. So the probability for that ranging anywhere from about a 20% probability to about an 80% probability of 2 inches of snowfall from this system. Okay. As far as a little bit higher amounts, 6 inches of snowfall. Probability of that is greatest across the northern UP and in the Keweenaw, especially in the Keweenaw, the north central, those locations. And the probability for that ranging anywhere from about a 20% to about a 60 or 70% probability of at least 6 inches of snowfall occurring from this Wednesday system. All right. Now, there's still some model inconsistencies on where the heaviest snowfall is going to fall, but right now it's trending across the northwest and the Keweenaw and the far eastern UP. So about the central UP is expected to have about a range of around 3 to 6. And towards the Keweenaw, that's where we could exceed 6 inches of snowfall in the east end of the UP. There's a small potential of some areas potentially exceeding about a foot of snow over in northern Houghton and Keweenaw counties, and also the extreme eastern UP. Right now, along the Wisconsin state line from this system, expecting a couple of inches of snowfall. This is subject to change, but it's how it's trending right now. Okay, so yeah. Let's time it out here for you. This is tomorrow evening, 9:30 at night, as the initial swath is moving in. It'll be a freezing rain and wet snow mixture coming in along the Wisconsin state line by 10 p.m.
And that's going to track north and northeast. So most of this precipitation will kind of be pushing towards Lake Superior during the overnight hours. So this is Wednesday morning, 5:30 in the morning, still freezing rain mixing in with some snow across the southern half, and then more of that wet snowfall in the northern half of the UP. There's mainly a likelihood of moderate intensities of snow. Some pockets could result in heavy intensities of snowfall with this going into Wednesday morning. And then a final surge coming through late Wednesday morning. This is 11 a.m. of that wet, sloppy snow in the northern UP. Then that's expected to move on out, and the system will be behind us. We have some slightly cooler air that filters in, and so that'll help support some lake effect snow going into Thursday. The northern counties, we're not expecting that to be completely widespread by any means. But yeah, that's the big thing for us this week, okay, is that Wednesday system. Start to see the precipitation tomorrow evening, all the way through Wednesday morning. Freezing rain, snowfall, travel hazards. It's going to slow you down. We need to be careful because, yeah, we're talking about some freezing rain and some wet snowfall. And some of that snowfall we'll be doing some shoveling with by Wednesday, late morning, early afternoon. So highest amounts across the northern counties. There is a potential of some gusty winds. It doesn't look like it's going to be one of the biggest hazards for strong winds. Let me just show you how that's shaping up for winds, but we're expecting the gustiest conditions to happen Wednesday morning with winds decreasing into the afternoon. Here are the winds. Okay, it's going to be an easterly wind flow with this, and gusts of 35 to about 45 early Wednesday morning, and then we're expecting that to weaken here throughout the day. There are winter storm watches that will be in effect for Marquette, Berrigan, Northern Houghton, and Keweenaw counties for tomorrow evening going through Wednesday evening because of this system. And in those areas, that's where we're expecting the potential for that accumulating snowfall. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get more alerts because of this system. Okay. So right now, we do have some light moisture rolling through. Radar indicating freezing rain that's very light, mixing in with some very light rain, passing through the central and the eastern UP. It is going to be continuing to move out, so this is not hanging on with us all day long, but again, watching out for those slick road conditions. We also have a little bit of some fog in some locations this morning. So visibility at about a mile and a half for the eastern UP. Let's take a look over at the Mackinac Bridge. Let me see if I can find that sky camera here for you. Here it is. There we go. That's the Mackinac Bridge. Foggy there this morning. Wet. Slick. Yeah, not super great there right now. Let me see if I can get you a different view of the Mackinac Bridge. So yeah. All right, let's see. Here we go. And it should be loading. There it is. Well, we can't see the Mackinac Bridge because of the fog. So yeah, foggy out there right now. This is US 2, Tannery Road, near Manistee. That's the Sini Stretch, M28. We have Autrain. And outside of the station here, cloudy one out there this morning. Okay, so yeah, so that's what's going on. Again, Wednesday's the big day of concern. And let me see if there's anything else. Okay, I'm gonna show you this quick hour by hour for today before we wrap it up. Again, I mentioned there's a little bit of light freezing rain and rain kind of moving through right now. That's going to continue to move on out. The rest of your Monday is just going to be cloudy and above normal. We are actually going to remain above normal basically through Thursday. Okay, so through Thursday, we're staying above normal, and then there's going to be a separate disturbance that comes in on Friday. and we'll get back to more typical conditions that point in time and into the weekend, which means we'll be back in the 20s, some colder conditions by that point in time. I'm going to go ahead and point some of that out here. All right, here we go. Here's your, oh, okay. Let's just quickly show you that 7-day, and because we do have some lingering snowfall going into Thursday behind Wednesday's system that should be aware of. Okay, here we go. There it is. Here is Thursday. Light lake effect snow behind that in the morning, and then it tapers off. There is a second system that comes in for Friday, and that one also brings in a little mix in the morning, and it's going to skirt south of the UP. A little mix potentially for the southern counties on Friday morning, and then behind that, we have the colder air that's coming in for this upcoming weekend. We get back to the 20s, so so that's everything you need to know. Unfortunately, we did lose some of that snow base, but we're excited for some accumulating snow. However, it's going to be a little hazardous. Things to just look out for this time of year. Coming in on Wednesday, we'll have another update of this TV6 First Alert Weather Extra. We'll tell you where we're at with the system as it's coming in. There's a potential that it might be a TV6 First Alert weather day right now if we do get more alerts issued for Wednesday's system. Okay, well, in the meantime, you guys have a really great day, and we'll see you right back here on Wednesday.